How has the Black music in the Black church, how has that influenced American music and American pop culture today?
Well, probably quite a bit. I wish the influence had been maybe the other way around. It seems that the pop culture has influenced the music in the church more than the formal atmosphere of what was once church music, the quality of music in the church. Um, it has become all but impossible to go into the Black church and hear a variety of quality in music. I can remember when at my church in Knoxville, I was a member of a church in Knoxville, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church in Knoxville. We had three choirs every Sunday. We had a senior choir that specialized in singing anthems, and they sang an anthem every Sunday, and it was always at the center of the worship. We had a gospel chorus, and I remember in high school, I was directed our gospel chorus, and I never taught them anything without a score there. I taught parts, so that was different than what you hear uh, going on now in most settings. And we had, as I said, three choirs. The other choir was a junior choir, children's choir, and they never sang music that was not age appropriate. So you don't see and hear that so much now. And I'm pessimistic about what I see coming down the pike. I don't see it changing. And two, it's almost impossible now to go into our churches and hear a choir that has a balance of voices. We don't have that anymore. Uh, I grew up in a church where one could go into the church and hear hymns sung the way they should be sung. I don't think we hear that so much now, and and I find this to be disturbing. Uh, Gospel music was once done in our churches at a much higher level of quality than it is now. The praise music that uh, we call praise music now, uh, that has taken the place of what we once called devotion in our churches. And a lot of the music that they sang as a part of devotion, they lined the hymns, they sang them. It was all a cappella, shall we say? And you could hear, and the counterpoint that one could hear doing that was could be staggering, and it was much at a much higher level of quality than it is now. And speaking of counterpoint, uh, where you have all kinds of integration of melodies. Uh, my first international trip was my senior year before in, before my senior year at Knoxville College. I spent 10 weeks in Kenya, And I remember after I was a part of Operation Crossroads Africa, which was the setting that President Kennedy used to help him build the Peace Corps. Uh, and I remember after, you wouldn't think so now, and I find it hard to believe too, that my assignment that summer was helping to build 2 schoolhouses out in rural Kenya. I can't imagine myself trying to build a schoolhouse. And have wondered sometimes if those buildings are still standing. But I remember after we had finished that assignment and we were back in Nairobi, and I remember this festival and seeing these people, it was like a homecoming, I shall say. All of the community was gathered and they were out there singing. And the counterpoint that they were singing would just stagger the mind if you would see it on paper. And what we used to have in our churches during devotion is the closest thing that I've heard to what I heard on that campus of these native Kenyans singing and interacting with each other musically. But and the what I'm leading to, the quality of what we once had in our churches singing devotion. It didn't happen in all Baptist churches, but in a lot of Baptist churches, they did have what they called a devotion. The deacons and the mothers of the church would lead this congregational singing. And the quality of that, the musical quality, as I remember it, was much higher than what we have going on now with praise music. It was really at a much higher level. But and we, as I said, when I first became a part of the musical culture at St. Mark, we had all of these choirs and they were singing a variety. We had a variety of music going on every Sunday, similar to what I had heard was accustomed to having and hearing at my church in Knoxville. And again, the senior choir there, and it wasn't fiddly stuff. They sang real anthems, and the anthem was always at the center of worship.